This is KGW News at noon.
Hello, I'm Brittany Folkers. Our top story this hour at noon, a judge has tossed out a $77,000 fine levied against Portland City Council candidate Renee Gonzalez. Jordan Schnitzer leased the office space to Gonzalez for $250 a month. City auditors argued that's well below mark value and was an illegal campaign contribution. In a ruling out this morning, the judge disagreed and dismissed the fine. Schnitzer says he offered to rent the space to Gonzalez because nobody else was interested in the property for the last 2 years. Gonzalez is running against incumbent Joanne Hardesty for Portland City Council. Another developing story that we're following today, newly released documents show that the Department of Homeland Security may have overstepped in its surveillance of Portland protesters in 2020. 2 Homeland Security reports were released to the public today at the request of Oregon Senator Ron Wyden. The documents show that Homeland Security agents monitored the friends, family, social media followers, and even the travel histories of Oregonians during the 2020 protests. The report also indicates that DHS planned on tracking every single person who attended Portland protests in 2020. It was unable to meet that goal. The report also labeled some they were tracking as violent or anarchists, suggesting that crimes were committed without evidence. In a statement today, Senator Wyden said he believes DHS violated the First Amendment. A week from today, Portland City Council will vote on Mayor Ted Wheeler's homeless plan. It comes after a long day of testimony yesterday. With about 200 people registered to speak, it took 7 hours to get through all of that testimony. Here's KGW's Catherine Cook with some of the public feedback on the plan, both for it and against it.
At City Hall Wednesday, more than 7 hours passed as hundreds of people bent the ears of City Council members, all determined to weigh in on Mayor Wheeler's plan to address homelessness in Portland.
I do not envy City Council's task to solve this legitimate agenda item 901.
It was their first opportunity to do so since the mayor unveiled the 5-part plan on Friday. It includes banning unsanctioned camping across Portland within 18 months. There would be 3 giant sanctioned campsites that would hold up to 500 people each, managed 24/7 with access to hygiene, food, and other services. And there's the goal of building 20,000 affordable housing units by 2033. The proposal also seeks to change city protocols so those who are homeless can more easily access addiction and mental health services. And finally, the plan proposes partnering with the DA's office to help people cited for low-level offenses get into diversion programs.
I don't believe homeless apartheid will solve or improve the houselessness crisis in Portland.
Critics were most concerned with the idea of building the large sanctioned campsites.
Y'all have to know what a colossally bad idea it is to put 500 people, most of whom, like strangers, most of whom who have substance abuse or past trauma issues, to cram them into the same spot.
Seriously.
Peter is homeless. He's afraid he'll be arrested if one of the options in the plan doesn't suit him.
This place is going to be a concentration camp. Really, the criminal element will have a field day. Hygiene will be a terrible problem.
Some who testified think those problems already exist on city sidewalks.
My industry is in turmoil.
Alex Dawes is general manager of Embassy Suites. He says there must be changes and supports this plan.
This is what it comes down to for our industry to survive. Visitors to downtown want to feel safe and comfortable as they enjoy our city.
Some who testified said continuing to do nothing would be the worst option of all.
Just because you've gone down a wrong road for miles doesn't mean you keep going. We need to stop this failed social experiment and get on the right road again. Mayor, your plan for the homeless puts us in the right direction again.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
And we have an update on another story that we've been tracking, the saga surrounding Republican Joe Kent and who he works for. As we reported at noon yesterday, the congressional candidate says the confusion comes down to a clerical error by his campaign. Well, last night, our Pat Doris got a chance to talk with Kent on the story to discuss the mix-up.
Kent is a retired Green Beret, and the sometimes shadowy world of Special Forces military have some doubting his explanation of who he's employed by. Kent said many times the company's name is American Enterprise Solutions, and has also been quoted saying the company is registered in Delaware and headquartered in Virginia. But the Daily Beast website dug into that and discovered there's no such company with that name in Virginia. KGW also ran a check of 3 different databases and found no record of that company. Now his campaign says when Kent began working for the company in 2019, it was indeed called American Enterprise Solutions, but it has since changed its name to Advanced Enterprise Solutions. The company sent us his W-2 statements from the year 2020 and for the year 2021. Each shows the employer name is Advanced Enterprise Solutions. Today, Kent said his earlier use of the wrong company name was an error that has been corrected.
I work for Advanced Enterprise Solutions. It formerly had the name of American Enterprise Solutions, so there was some confusion on the name. I went ahead and updated the financial disclosure yesterday, so it's all been corrected.
How did you get it wrong for, was it a year and a half or multiple times anyway?
It was called AES is how we referred to it. So we don't wear a logo or, actually have a centralized home office we go into.
I asked why he didn't just tell the website that as they were trying to verify who he works for. His first answer was a pivot to concerns that he hears from voters, which he said do not include the name of his employer. But eventually, he got around to the answer.
We were asked real briefly, I think in an email by the Daily Beast, but I'm not sitting around checking my email constantly. I'm running a campaign and I'm out listening to constituents and talking with people about the real problems affecting their life, not the latest hit piece coming from Daily Beast.
Kent told Oregon Public Broadcasting he is a project manager and the company he works for studies telecommunication infrastructure internationally. OPB also reports that Kent's former campaign manager, who was fired last December, called Kent's employment a phantom job. Byron Sanford is quoted as saying that money is coming from somewhere. It's coming from this company that he doesn't even work for. Kent told me he fired Sanford for lying and that he should not be used as a source for news stories.
We're now less than 2 weeks away from Election Day, so a lot of candidates, specifically those running for Oregon governor, are bringing in big-name politicians in an effort to sway voters. This afternoon, Senator Bernie Sanders will be in Portland and Eugene to rally support for Democrat Tina Kotek. It's a Get Out the Vote rally. The Portland rally starts at 2 at the Roseland Theater. KGW will be there and have the latest in our newscast this afternoon. KGW and NBC News will bring you the latest results and explain the issues and next steps throughout this midterm. You can also get KGW's full election guide covering the local candidates and measures. Just text the word election to 503-226-5088 and we'll send you a link to the guide. Well, let's get a check on that forecast. Hey, Rod, it has been kind of the up and downs this week, but it's been nice to see the sunburst through the rain.
Yeah, it's one of the nicer days we've had in the last week or so. It's completely dry across the region, and most of our, well, in fact, all of our cameras show some sun. A lot of them show a lot of sun. How about mainly clear down over Yaquina Bay? That's just gorgeous conditions down there, 51 degrees. There are some clouds up toward Astoria, but not the Central Coast. This has been a beautiful view all day. This is up over the high country, timberline looking south over the Cascades down at Jefferson. It's 32 up at the lodge right now. It's 40 at pass level. With the warming temperatures and dry conditions, no trouble traveling over the Cascade Passes today. It'll be dry this evening as well. Pretty much a clear sky, close to it, over Stoller Family Vineyards Estate down in Dayton. Portland's at 56. We're mainly sunny as well. We're on track to get to 63. That's a nice day for this time of the year. Your evening plans still look dry. It will be raining tomorrow morning, and we'll have that forecast into your Halloween weekend coming up.